Keene point of view. Keene point of view. Yes, Jesus. Hey everybody, it's Jamin with Keene Point of View, the best intersection of gay issues, politics, and Christianity. Where have I been? Well, remember a couple weeks ago, or longer probably, I said that I needed to apply somewhere and it was scary and I had to stretch out on faith and step into the unknown and all that stuff. And I went ahead, thanks to your encouragement, and applied. So I put my all into the application, so please pray to Jesus that I get in. I really want to get in. I'll let you know later when I get in. In political news, Operation American Spring attempted to start off this weekend with a demand that President Barack Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, and Speaker of the House John Boehner advocate their positions and let those American Spring people, I guess, take over government and establish a constitutionally based government, because they said those three people were not upholding the Constitution. They didn't mention anything about the Supreme Court. They didn't mention anything about getting rid of Congress. And they said there will be 30 million people descending on Washington, D.C. And from pictures, it looked like it was about 6 people, if they were real pictures. So I didn't hear about it in the news anywhere. Maybe I missed it. But Barack Obama is still president. Joe Biden is still vice president. And John Boehner is still the Speaker of the House. Way to go, American Spring people. Better luck next time. Or maybe try something less treasonous. In Christian news, Kirk Cameron is now the spokesperson for Americans Defending Freedom. The ADF will defend you in court. They're a group of lawyers claiming to be a nonprofit, and they will take your case all the way to the Supreme Court in an effort to turn our laws in this nation into laws that are biblically sound and biblically based, and probably more come from the Old Testament than the New Testament. So we all in danger if they succeed. What they want to do is turn American conservative ideology into the law of the land. So therefore people will be like the Nazis, where instead of baptizing your child in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, they started baptizing them under swastikas and in the name of Hitler. I guess we'll be baptizing people under the Confederate flag and in the name of, well, I guess God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, but they will have nothing to do with that. A Christian Taliban, if you will. History teaches us how well this worked out with the Holy Roman Empire, which is probably one of the most corrupt empires ever, and all that wonderful, seductive, delicious power going to the popes who dictated who ruled independent countries and who got to run independent churches. America, don't let Christians take over. We need secularism and a human-run government, okay? Because we will turn into Iran. We will turn into Russia. We will turn into communist Russia or China, with the state being the highest goal, because it will turn into that. Christians can't even agree on what translation of the Bible to read. How are we going to dictate to people what the rules and the law of the land should be? We can't even agree there. So the biblical interpretation changes from Christian to Christian. So who's deciding what's the right thing to do? So please stop this right-wing ideological war that's going on with every fiber of your being. Jesus is the only one qualified to run a Christian-based government, and until he sits on the throne during the millennium, we need to leave it up to us as humans to have secularism in government. Otherwise, people just go way too far. In gay news, I ran across a purported gay advice column that gave 22 tips for nice guys and how nice guys could stop ruining relationships, because a lot of times nice guys apparently ruin budding relationships when they date with other guys. Who knew? Who knew? Don't text thank you, don't text nice meeting you, don't call for 3 days. All of the classic show little or no interest and the guy will be interested in you, because he'll think that you have so much going on, and when you think of him, he'll be happy because you're so busy that you thought of him. Listen, if I pick up that you are not interested in me, I'm not interested in you. All of that aloofness, all of that don't pay attention, all of that show no interest crap, that is some bad advice. It's great if you just want that as hookup advice or some good gay sex advice. Right there, that advice, follow that and you'll be happy and sexually active. If you want to get to invest and know someone personally, don't follow that advice. It's terrible, horrible advice. Be yourself, but don't be clingy, but be yourself. and let it work out the way it's supposed to. Men are the same whether straight or gay. If a man is interested in you, you're gonna know. Another piece of advice that they gave was while you're on a date with the other person, don't let the other person think that just because you're on a date with them that you need to monopolize all their time or vice versa while you're on a date together alone. So if you run into other friends or want to make a new friend, go ahead and socialize with the person you're talking to. Just walk away from your date, go ahead and socialize, and then come back to your date. That'll let them desire you even more. Who is giving this advice? This is horrible advice. I've been on 2 dates where that happened, and each time I walked out. One time I let the person know I was leaving, the other time I just left. And the first time it happened, I got a call and said, "Where did you go?" I said, "Yeah, you're being rude, I left." Like, I didn't think you were gonna leave. Exactly, just said like that. So that person, however, respected my boundary line that I drew and made it up to me out of nowhere. The following Sunday, came to a performance I was in, treated me to brunch, and I ordered all of the things on the menu. And we're still friends to this day. People only treat you the way that you allow them to treat you, so draw your boundary lines, make sure that they respect your boundaries. Stop the cycle, end the abuse, stop dating abuse 2014. Once again, this is Jamin with Keene Point of View, the best intersection of gay issues, politics, and Christianity. Thank you for joining me this week. In closing, on the blog, keenepointofview.com, go ahead and check it out. I wrote about 2 things. This week I wrote about, first, the seedy underbelly of gay interracial relationships. The second thing I wrote about was a defense of traditional marriage. Now this is not what you're probably thinking. Thanks again for joining me this week. It's great to be back. Have a wonderful, wonderful week in all of this high tree pollen, and we'll see you, Lord willing, next week. Take care.